However, if I was just plainly doing like submission online or doing walk-ins in different stores, in different shops, hello guys, so my name is Kiko from Kiko Speaks and welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please click the button below so that you'll get more featured videos in the future. Alright, so today what we are going to discuss is the best way for you to find a part-time job or maybe a job itself, especially for international students like me from the Philippines. Yeah, you can see this, Philippines. I mean in Tagalog it's Filipinas. Alright, so going back to our topic. Now back in the Philippines or back in Saudi Arabia where I used to work and where I used to live, we tend to have this kind of idea that the longer your CV is, maybe the better and the more opportunity that you'll get from the recruitment consultants or from the recruiters. I was once a senior recruitment supervisor for a telecom company in Saudi Arabia, and it was indeed the practice that the more you have information in your CV, I mean the more detail that you have in your CV, the more that you get interviews. However, in Canada, this is totally different. Why? Well, because I tried and I failed. Yeah, I made like 3 changes in my CV. The first version was the CV that I have been using back home or back in Saudi Arabia, that I think it actually works. But then again, when I use that here, I tend not to get any interviews or any invitations to further proceed with my application. I change it and maybe it will improve. So I shortened the CV into 1 page. However, it's not the best way that I can present myself on a single sheet. So it didn't work, but it worked in a certain what do you call this one? I forgot. Give me a moment. I am thinking. Yeah, it is the open house recruitment for keg restaurant, wherein I was able to get my first job here in Canada as part-timer or a part-time buzzer or a server assistant. It worked because I was there on site getting interviews, and I did not send my resume for me to get interviewed. So it's a totally different story. Now, I made another revision thinking that maybe I can get more interviews because I have already changed my CV, and yes, guess what? It worked. Because one thing that I use to measure my CV's visibility, I use LinkedIn to monitor the progress of my CV. Because whatever I put on my CV, it is what you can see on my LinkedIn account. So some of the changes maybe will be the PDF format of LinkedIn. That's how I did it. Now, that's the first thing, is to make sure that your CV is well customized according to the Canadian standard, and you need to adapt on that since you are entirely in a different environment, in a different setting, and in a different maybe type of job hunting. Second thing that I want to share with you is the best way for you to get a job. So you've done your CV, it's great, maybe. On the second thing that you need to do is to make sure that you are networking. You are doing your networking heavily in this country, because online submission of CVs is not working. It's not going to work. I have done that several times. I have used Indeed, used LinkedIn. Those things didn't work. But what works is when I was able to get in touch with a friend, and since because I have the connection already to the working place that I plan to work for, it was easy for me to get into the interview because there was somebody who referred me to that kind of job. However, if I was just plainly doing like submission online or doing walk-ins in different stores, in different shops here in the city, I might not be able to get this second work that I have now. So on my next video, I'm going to talk about how I was able to secure this job and what kind of job do I have now and how I was able to get it, not because I have sent my CV online or I was able to get it because I walked into the store, but because it's more on the networks that I have with me. That's one thing that you need to make sure. That's one thing that you need to remember, that when you get in Canada, when you get into your school, or when you meet someone in your community, make sure to connect. Make sure that you have a list of people that you can tap maybe in the future for you to find a job for yourself. It's not about using them, but maybe creating that deep connection that maybe it can turn into a friendship. Who knows, right? And these people, these same people, are going to help you progress with your job hunting in this country. Alright, so that's all about it for now. So remember, network is the key. Online submission, walk-ins are dead. It won't work. I promise. I'm telling you, it won't work. Alright, so that's all about it for now. And if you have any questions regarding your job hunting and regarding my experience on how I got those jobs that I have now, on how I got those interviews, so if you're not yet a subscriber of Kiko Speaks, please hit the subscribe button below here, yeah, so that you'll get more featured videos in the future. That's it for now, and thank you very much. This is once again Kiko Speaks.